Much for watching tonight, and always we're here for you. Good night.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adagi Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
The weather might be clear right now, but that might change in the coming months as Guam and the Sinamay get ready for El Nino. I'm Don Sulat with the story coming up.
Here at the Guam Museum, the Manenggon Memorial Foundation revealed their annual commemoration keynote speaker will help reflect on the site's legacy this July. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with the story next.
And with widespread infestation across the island, research is underway to manage the bugs devastating our local Siniguelas. I'm Mitsuki Hariyama with part 2 of our series on the hog fungidos.
We are broadcasting from the KUAM newsroom on Harmon Loop Road to Guamanians all over the world, and we welcome you to Primetime, everybody. Hafaday, I'm Jason Salas. These are your top stories for this Friday evening. Well, the governor, Lulian Gurel, has declared the month of June to be Typhoon Preparedness Month, and with that, local leaders and weather officials are calling upon the community to stay prepared as the region enters what looks to be a strong El Nino season. KUAM's Don Sulat breaks it down.
June is Typhoon Preparedness Month, and as you can see right now, although the weather is clear, El Nino is coming pretty soon. So what can you do to prepare?
According to the Pacific ENSO Applications Climate Center, during an El Nino event, sea surface temperatures over the central and eastern Pacific become warmer than normal. Land and Islet warning coordination meteorologists telling the public that currently there is a slight drop in typhoons by year because of the El Nino season.
This outlook favors the climatology of an El Nino pattern, and so we are in that transition phase, and some indicators, a lot of indicators look at a strong El Nino. So we're going to be thinking back to like years 1997, 2015. They were very busy years of powerhouse storms. We're not guaranteed to take another direct hit, but the likelihood of a direct hit is going to be much higher than a La Nina year, and we've seen several of those since 2020.
Weather officials adding that there are two phases of an El Nino event, which are wet and dry. Currently, Guam is in the wet phase. But what does an El Nino season mean for Guam? A summary from ENSO shows that there would be more rain in the beginning of the season, then it will transition to a longer and dry season. Trade winds will be weaker, the sea level will be lower, and ocean conditions will be cooler at and below the surface. However, the risk of storms or tropical cyclones increases, with Islet giving examples of storms that ravaged Guam and the CNMI in previous years.
While this is 2015, an El Nino year, we had 8 tropical cyclones pass between Guam and Anatahan that year. 8 tropical cyclones. So that was a very busy year. In 2015, we had Dolphin, Bavi, Chanhong, Sudalor up there in Saipan with devastating impacts. And so this is what we anticipate when we see a strong El Nino taking shape in our region. Will 2026 become this? Remains to be seen.
According to Islet, in 2025, Guam and the region saw tropical disturbances warranting a warning, which is typical of an El Nino pattern. But El Ninos, on the other hand, are more intense as the typhoons form from the east of the Pacific and have more time to develop. Prior to the presentation, the governor declared the month of June as Typhoon Preparedness Month. However, government and weather officials say because of where we live, typhoon preparedness should be all year round, with Homeland Security Advisor Esther Akigi telling the public that the worst time to prepare is when everyone else is preparing.
So what can you do to prepare for El Nino and the upcoming typhoon season? Well, you can start by staying posted on official government channels such as the Joint Information Center, as well as right here on KUAM News. But for now, I'm Don Sulat, reporting for Guam's News Network.
Elsewhere on the island this evening, 82 years after the forced march to Manenggon, survivors and their families continue to share their stories so that future generations may never forget what happened during Guam's occupation. And this year's commemoration features a keynote speaker who lived through those events as a child and has spent a lifetime reflecting on their lessons. Nevaeh Anderson explains in this next report.
Every July, families, survivors, and community members gather at the Manenggon Memorial Park to remember a painful chapter in Guam's history. This year, that tradition will be marked by a speaker whose advocacy has helped preserve the stories of those who lived through it. Juan C. Benavente was just a child when Japanese forces occupied Guam in 1941. Originally from Dededo, Benavente remembers his family fleeing their home the following year and seeking shelter in the jungle as the war reached their community. Eventually, they were discovered. His father was forced to work at a labor camp in Tomhom, and his two oldest siblings were sent to work on the airfield at Calaguac. As this year's Manenggon commemoration speaker, Benavente says having seen the atrocities of war up close as a child and later as a soldier in the United States Army have only reinforced one message.
I think we can be grateful that we're at peace today. And again, I reiterate, I hope that war will never come to this community. Because I saw the destruction on my tour in Germany. I saw the destruction on my tour in Korea. I saw the destruction that I saw in Vietnam. So war is a very devastating affair, but we have not learned to avoid war.
For organizers, including Foundation Vice President Senator Tony Atta and founding member Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes, sharing these stories is about more than remembering the past. It's about making sure Guam's experience during World War II is recognized and understood by future generations at home and beyond our shores. Foundation President Stephanie Flores says many Americans still know very little about what happened on Guam during the war. She recalls visiting the National World War II Museum in New Orleans, Louisiana, and finding few references to the suffering endured by our island's people.
And so that makes our work so much more important, because there were over 3,000 people that died here. People throughout the nation have no idea that Americans on Guam were interred, were captured, were tortured because of their affiliation with the United States. And so when we say freedom is not free, people on Guam have a unique perspective on what that really is. And so we ask that you come out to these different memorials, you listen to the stories of our people, and you remember.
Senator Muñoz Barnes adds that the greatest way we can serve the lives and memories of the greatest generation is by working toward a future where such suffering never happens again.
On our monument, there is an inscription that says, "Forgiveness wipes away the tears of war, but we shall never forget." Ladies and gentlemen, remembering Manenggon is about ensuring that the lessons of the past are never forgotten.
For many of our island's families, Manenggon is more than a historical site. It stands as a symbol of suffering, survival, and the enduring strength of the Chamorro people. The Manenggon Memorial Foundation invites the entire community to attend this year's commemoration on July 5th and hear Juan Benavente's story in full while honoring those who endured occupation. The observance begins at 8:30 a.m. with a march to the campsite, followed by the ceremony at 9:45 a.m. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Thanks so much, Nevaeh, for that report. Well, on Thursday, we told you the story of a farmer over in Barrigada who's feeling the impacts of the hog plum beetle, an invasive pest that's wreaking havoc on the local singuelas. In part 2 of our series, Matsuki Hirayama has more on the science behind the infestation and what's being done to protect one of our community's favorite fruit trees.
Just crazy how they just cover themselves with their own poop.
A study is underway to manage the widespread infestation of the hog plum beetles, which are devastating the local Siniguelas trees on Guam. State entomologist and biosecurity chief Christopher Rosario and University of Guam entomologist Dr. Daniel Johnson have been tracking the invasive pest since its introduction to the island in 2024.
In order for us to get a good hold of the management of the insect, the research and the studies need to be done, the behavior, knowing the insect before we make better decisions on how to manage them. So at this time we don't have the management, but however we do have the capacity to do the studies and to make better decisions in the long run.
The pink ladybug-like beetle is native to tropical Asia and likely made its way here from a nearby country. This according to Johnson, who has been leading the research into the bug's biology and behavior.
So the pest management is not only science, it's also an art, that as we all know. So we need to know the biology thoroughly to make a very good decision with minimal effort and with maximum success. So understanding the biology will help us when to target and where to target.
Curiously, when in its larvae stage, the beetle covers itself in a fecal shield, or simply put, its own dung. Johnson says this shield acts as a natural barrier to predators and pesticides and is a key reason why the invasive species is so widespread.
But the other two stages are the weakest stages and the most vulnerable stages that we can target the pest management efforts.
The entomologist shares how homeowners and farmers can best manage the pest throughout its different life stages.
If you spot the egg mosses in your leaves, you can completely crush them, and thereby you are killing an entire generation of beetle, which is very easy and very good way of managing the pest. And if you can spot the mud chamber right beneath the trees, if you stomp them or if you kill them or crush them, that is a very good way of managing the pest as well.
There's also two natural predators that have been documented feeding on the hogplum beetle: banana spiders and stink bugs.
So preserving these two and conserving and appreciating these bugs that are good is very important for pest management as well.
Meanwhile, the hogplum beetle has only been seen feeding on the Siniguelas trees on Guam, but Johnson says he can't rule out the possibility that it eats other plants. So if you see this bug defoliating your Siniguelas tree or feeding on any other plant, you're urged to call the pest hotline at 671-475-PEST.
Researchers say there's still more to learn, but understanding the beetle's behavior may be key to protecting Guam's Siniguela trees in the years ahead. For now, I'm Mitsuki Hirayama reporting for KUAM News.
There's much more prime time on the flip side of this break, so please, everybody, sit tight, and we'll be right back.
Stop! Dollar days are back at Kmart. Pantry loaded. Everyday essentials done. Deals in every aisle. Fill your cart. Stack your savings. Kmart Guam. Don't miss Dollar Days.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Head of the Class of 2026 is proudly presented by Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, and DCSP 21 DBA Amentum.
Okay, everybody, we are continuing our Head of the Class series where we shine the very deserved spotlight on the top students from our island's public, private, and charter schools. And today, we recognize the valedictorian and salutatorian of the Mighty CHEX from CTEC. It's Career Tech High Academy Charter School with the coolest backdrop, seaside in the beautiful village of Hagat.
Hi, my name is Aliyah Danilo. I'm valedictorian for Career Tech High Academy Charter School, and I'm in the graduating class of 2026. Being class president and being the valedictorian and just meeting a lot of great people from school and sports, and they really helped me get to where I am now, so I'm forever grateful for that. They're amazing. The school is amazing. I have no regrets. I want to travel the world and keep myself educated, you know, staying in school and not limiting myself to one skill, because I know I can do more than that. Future endeavor has for me, so I know I won't fail. Definitely not. Treat yourself and others the way you would want to be treated. Pave your own path. Grow from tough experiences for sure. I'm grateful to have a strong family beside me, definitely, and I hope I can continue to make them proud from whatever the future decides for me. And I'm glad that they support me and got me to where I am, because I'm forever grateful for that. And all that sacrifice and all those late nights and advice you guys gave me, none of that went to waste. Trust me, like, I took that as fuel, I took that as coal into the fire, so I hope you guys can see my determination.
Hi, my name is Milka Lukejak. I'm the salutatorian of this year's graduating class of 2026 from Career Tech High Academy Charter School. Winning gold and MVP this year as a female heavyweight wrestler. Alongside that, I would say serving as a president for our school's Micronesian Student Association has really made a change in my high school career. Through the club, I was able to help unite Micronesian students from across Micronesia within our school, all while promoting cultural values and cultural understanding. I've always said this since I was young, or since the beginning of my high school career, really. In 10 years, I still see myself revolving my life around education. After graduation, I do plan on going to college, majoring in philosophy and having a minor in business. Lock in. There's no time to be slacking for real. High school is hard. Give yourself credit and find that one person you are able to relate with, because having that one person, from my experience, has really changed my life. It really does help you a lot, and I'm glad I found that one person, and that person is my father. I love you. My biggest support system has really been my family. I love you guys so dearly. Through your sacrifices, it motivates me to work even harder. At times when I feel like I don't want to do something, I'll really reflect on what you guys done, and it just makes me feel like I really have no excuses to not do something. Yeah, I love you guys so much. That's really it.
Head of the Class of 2026 is proudly presented by Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, and DCSP 21 DBA Amentum.
Moving on in our broadcast, for cancer survivors, every day is a victory hard-earned through courage, faith, and perseverance. And today down at Adaloop, our island paused to celebrate those victories, honoring the survivors and their families, caregivers, and support networks who stood beside them through every challenge. As Jonah Gonçalves reports, the observance served as a powerful reminder that no one fights cancer alone.
Today, cancer survivors from across Guam were recognized for their strength, resilience, and determination during the Guam Cancer Survivorship Week proclamation signing at Adaloop. Marie Benito is with the Guam Comprehensive Cancer Control Coalition.
As a support person for my husband and for many survivors of the Circle of Care Cancer Support Program, I know the amount of strength, courage, faith, and yes, prayers required of you every single day. Behind the smiles and laughter, there's also paralyzing fear. There's anxiety, emotional and physical pain that compound your everyday struggles. And yet you continue to show up, you speak out, you fight, you share, and you thrive.
The ceremony honored not only survivors, but also the families, caregivers, healthcare workers, and support networks who have walked alongside them throughout their cancer journeys. Organizers say survivorship is about more than overcoming a diagnosis. It represents courage in the face of adversity, hope through uncertainty, and the power of community support. The annual observance also serves as a reminder of the importance of cancer prevention, early detection, treatment, and continued access to resources that help improve the lives of those affected by cancer. As survivors shared in this special recognition, the event reaffirms Guam's commitment to raising awareness, strengthening support services, and ensuring no one faces cancer alone.
No matter where you are in your journey, from diagnosis and treatment to recovery and survivorship, You are heroes, and today we celebrate you.
Today's proclamation was both a celebration of survival and a tribute to the countless individuals whose support makes those victories possible. Junagan Charfis, KUAM News.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Here at KUAM, we really like stories, and there are thousands of amazing stories about our island's rich heritage and history downtown at the Guam Museum.
Tourism is Guam's #1 industry. It creates jobs and brings in spending. When a visitor comes to Guam, they spend their money on hotels, on transportation, on shopping, on dining out. They're happy they came to Guam. You know who else is happy? The hotel they stayed in, and the bellhop at the hotel. The tour bus drivers and tour guides. The stores they shopped at, and the banks they used. The restaurant and the waitstaff. The supplier who delivered the ingredients, and the farmer who supplied the produce. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. When tourists pay taxes, it means locals pay less. Let's make sure our local economy grows so it becomes stronger and more sustainable. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Tonight's sports feature is brought to you by Cars Plus.
We gotta do it island style, right?
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Thank you,
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase. But if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying, it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it, couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. bringing you more Jeep things this year. Because Jeep things should be everyone's thing.
Foodie Call is served fresh, presented by Pepsi. Lunch, better with Pepsi.
Happy guys, welcome back to another episode of Foodie Call. Today we are at Niji. I'm super excited to be trying out their dishes, so let's go.
Niji is known for their teppanyaki station.
I got some tempura shrimp and this, my sushi.
Guys, stop by the ramen station. If you know me, you know.
We have their toffee pudding, their tiramisu, and their chocolate chip cookie. Super delicious.
Cheers.
Oh, I don't think I've ever tried this. It's like their salmon. It has like a little sauce on top, some pepper.
The ramen, delicious.
I'm giving Vic one of my California rolls.
California rolls. I was waiting for that cucumber chicken.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Vic and I are gonna start off with the tempura shrimp. That's like a classic.
That batter is so light yet crispy. I could take a Pepsi break for a continuous food journey at Niji.
Because lunch is better with Pepsi. Delicious.
We're at the moment that everybody always talks about.
I know, I always get sick every time I come here. Cheers!
Lotus flower bomb, firefly. When I'm low, she take me.
So good.
So tender, so juicy.
These are the words right out of my mouth. Dessert is my favorite part of the meal. I'm a dessert gal.
Oh, and Patty, have you tried their sticky toffee pudding?
I have. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Cheers!
So delicious.
Huge thank you to Pepsi for sponsoring the show. Also, a huge thank you to our friends here at Niji for taking care of us and the Hyatt.
We want you guys to know that if you join the World of Hyatt, have a membership, you can get 20% off your buffet for the entire month of June. But if you have any more questions, you could always call them up at 671-647-1234.
Or follow them on their IG. It's Hyatt Niji Guam for all their deals and their amazing promos.
This was an amazing lunch.
I'll see you next time. Bye!
Foodie Call is served fresh, presented by Pepsi. Lunch, better with Pepsi.
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas. Okay, everybody, News Bites is awesome, and you know what? Our Team Masakara is awesome too, our Guam women's national team competing still. And you know who's competing? The Guam Ninja Warrior, Darren Perez, hit the buzzer last year. Season 18 of the wonderful show that's showing on KUAM TV 8 and streaming on Peacock is here. And Darren is bringing along some friends, right? His prize pupil, Rye Flores. The two of them have been invited and selected to compete on Season 18 of the show. So on June 9th, it's showing on KUAM TV 8 at 7 o'clock. But make sure to swing down to the Guam Museum because at the outdoor theater, they're having a watch party where you can join Rye and Darren and all of the Ninja Warrior community as we cheer them on 6 to 9 downtown at the Guam Museum. Go Rye, go Darren. 671 all the way. All right. Meat. Yes, says 80% of our viewing audience right now, is not just for, will be on display over at the Hyatt on the 18th. It's also for consumption. It looks great, tastes great, so please make sure to go check it out because it's sponsored by Stella Artois, and the tasting fair is going to be happening at the beautiful Tumon Bay Hotel. So make sure to swing by, take a lot of pictures. You might want to have somebody drive you if you happen to like really decide to eat the meat because it's just that good. And make sure to pass by, and it is going to be absolutely wonderful. And if you are a recent high school graduate or college graduate, if you're heading off to college, make sure to go check out this wonderful program because the Summer Glow program is brought to you by my friends at the UOG Extension Service. And they are going to show you how you can pick out wonderful ingredients, how you can store and prepare and make wonderful, delicious, and healthy meals for you and your family. For the young ones, for the older ones, if those of you heading off to college in the States and everything, make it for the people that you share dorms with, right? Show them how we do things right here on the islands and show them how we make healthy, delicious food because you are going to really love that. Register and then take a bunch of selfies because bon appetit is what it's all about, all right? They're awesome, just like our birthday shout-outs tonight. All right, everybody, before we can get the weekend started, we have to finish Friday by wishing some very special Guamanians a happy birthday. And today's shout out goes out to Gavin Jose Paulino Iglesias, wishing our oldest child and dad a very happy, blessed 29th birthday. The opportunities are limitless, and we are so very proud of your achievements. Hey, that's a great shout out from a very loving family. Also, happy birthday from Mom, Dad, and brothers Mike and Matt, going out to Justin Pangilinan on this Friday. And Justin, we all hope you have an absolutely wonderful birthday as well.
I don't know what I've been told.
I don't know what I've been told.
Someone here is getting old.
Someone here is getting old.
Your Cold Stone Creamery birthday cake winner
for this week goes to...
We have a winner and the owner of a new Cold Stone Creamery ice cream cake as a new extended birthday present is Connor Burkhardt. So Connor, look for a message from us, from one of our accounts to one of your accounts, and we'll let you know when you can pick up your happy birthday present. Congratulations again. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com. That's going to do it for my time, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Please be safe out there on the weekend, and make sure to tune in because Mitsuki Hirayama has you covered all weekend long with Weekend Edition. I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
Ali, Bogithim, Hafide Zantiro, Rananim, Kasalele, Lengo, and Yakwe. Welcome back to another episode of the One Micronesia Show. First off, we got to thank our sponsors. Thank you so much, mahalo to Bank of Hawaii for jumping on and sponsoring and keeping the stories alive. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, so let's get to our episode. First up, we talked to the president of the Student Body Association at FBLG Middle School, Hayden John Grumo. Check it out. Leadership doesn't always wait for adulthood. Sometimes it rises early, shaped by culture, community, and challenges that demand a voice. For Hayden John Grumo, that voice has been years in the making.
At a very young age, I knew I loved helping people. I knew that, I had a big heart, and I knew that I always wanted to, one day make it big and make a difference in the world. So I think, just holding that hope and, always having that dream of making a difference and helping people really does tie in. And from a very young age, I knew that one day I wanted to have some sort of leadership role, or I wanted to be able to contribute to my community and just give back to people. So I think that's really when I realized that I wanted to be a leader.
Born and raised on Guam with proud Yapese roots, Hayden grew up grounded in tradition, carrying with him the values of respect, service, and responsibility. Values that would eventually guide him into leadership roles as a Student Body Association president and the National Junior Honor Society chapter president at FBLG.
Being raised here on Guam, but still having my Yapese roots running deep within me, I take what we're accustomed to in the culture, I take our values, our values of family, the importance of being there for one another and helping out people when it's needed and always being ready to answer the call. So I think that's really how my Yapese roots are able to tie into the way I lead and the leadership that I exhibit.
But for Hayden, leadership isn't about titles, it's about purpose.
For me, leadership truly means that, we need to deliver results in a timely manner. But to me, the more important aspect of leadership is that we need to be able to keep our word. We need to be able to be held accountable, making sure to stick with our word and, transparency when becoming a leader and when we are showing leadership. So that's basically what leadership means to me.
At a young age, he discovered his calling to serve. A calling shaped not by just his upbringing, but by the realities faced by the students around him. Because for Hayden and his fellow classmates, middle school didn't look the way it was supposed to. No hallways to walk through, no campus to call their own. In a letter he wrote as he prepares to leave middle school behind, Hayden describes his journey as a new chapter in the same book. A powerful reminder that while times move forward, some challenges remain unchanged.
As a new chapter in the same book, and really what I really try to emphasize within that phrase is just, just the whole situation that's going on with our Northern District schools right now. As we go through, as I went through middle school, I always had the hope that one day we would be back at our home campus. So my first year in middle school, we weren't able to, I didn't think too much about it. I had hope for the future. Then my 7th grade year, the second year came rolling around, and we still didn't receive as promising results, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna keep my last bit of hope for my 8th grade year. But it is unfortunate that, I'm going to be promoting into high school in less than a month. And, we are unfortunately still in the situation that we're in right now. We're still in the double sessioning situation. At the end of the day, we're still not fully back at our home campuses.
For years, students have heard the same promise: we will get you home. Yet for many, like Hayden, that promise has yet to become a reality.
I have never had a full instructional day at the campus. Of course, I've seen the campus, I've passed by, I've seen what the campus would have looked like, but having like a walk through the halls, seeing what the classrooms look like, I never really had that opportunity, which is sad, because when future generations ask me, oh, how was FB, where was this classroom at, how big was our gym, they're gonna ask about these little things, and it's just gonna be hard for me to really answer them because I was never able to be there and I wasn't able to experience it. Not being able to have that academic identity, not knowing what school, I know, of course, I'll always know that I'm from FBLG Middle School, I'm always going to be a Hawk, but I'm never going to know what the true home of the Hawks really did look like from the inside.
And still, despite uncertainty, despite the unanswered questions, Hayden chose to lead. To speak up not just for himself, but for every student navigating the same experience. Because to him, leadership means accountability on all sides, not just from students expected to succeed, but from the systems meant to support them.
So I think going out to, just my fellow student leaders, you guys are doing very good. You guys are doing awesome. You guys are doing exceptional, in this fight for what's best for us. So I really do commend my FB Leon Guerrero Middle School fellow student leaders, as well as the student leaders in Simon Sanchez, such as Aisha Torrente, Zoe Toigui. I really do commend all of them, and it is one fight, because when you're a shark, there's a very high probability that you were a hawk, which means you would have experienced the same thing the hawks are feeling, and that would be the same case vice versa. As you're a hawk, you're experiencing what's going on right now, and as you go into a shark, you're going to go ahead and experience what they're feeling. Message to the leaders, to our leaders is basically, I know we've been asking for change. We've been asking for change for, as mentioned, going on over 2 decades now, and for FB, they're about to go on their 5th year. If I'm not mistaken, their 5th year double sessioning with Okudu. So, I think the biggest message going out there is, of course, we want change ASAP. We want change as quickly as possible, but we would appreciate if you would rather, just tell us and say, okay, we're going to be honest with you. We're not sure when the change is going to come, but give us a timeline within the next 5 to 10 years. That will give more comfort compared to if you were to say, oh, it'll be done by, for example, it'll be done by next week, and then next week rolls around the corner, and unfortunately it isn't fulfilled. So that's the biggest thing for me on my end, and I'm pretty sure my peers and my people can they can agree with me. At the end of the day, it's always just about less about timeline and speed. It's more about accountability. It's more about transparency in the end.
As he prepares to enter high school, Hayden carries more than just memories. He carries a message, a call for change, a call for action, and a reminder that voices of students matter.
If I can do it, you can do it. Our voices, to be quite frank, our voices have been a little silent for a long period of time. But we put in the hard work, like I said, if we put in the hard work, the determination, if we set our mind on something that we want, we can do it. So my biggest message to the other FSM, FAS students in school is, don't give up. If you want to be a leader, go out, be a leader. If you ever need help, let me know. If you need help on being a leader, if you ever want to, if you hope to one day go out there and make a change, don't stop. Keep your eye on the goal, and along the way, you're going to meet people. Along the way, you're going to get opportunities that not many people are fortunate enough to get. So my biggest message is don't give up. Take every opportunity you get to express your leadership and be the leader and be for the people.
Because even without a campus to stand on, leaders like Hayden are still finding ways to rise. What an amazing and inspiring talk we had with Hayden. Man, such a brilliant and well-spoken kid. And like I said, the future for him, definitely going to be good. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more. The One Micronesia Show.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
And we're back. And this next feature, we talk about something, an idea, an initiative that's been around, I can't believe I'm going to say this, for 20 years. I'm talking about the Micronesia Challenge Initiative. Check it out. For generations, the people of Micronesia have lived in deep connection with the ocean and the land, relying on them not just for survival, but for identity, culture, and future. 20 years ago, a bold vision was set in motion, uniting the region under one common goal. That vision was first introduced by former Palau President Tami Ramasao Jr., helping bring together leaders across Micronesia under a shared commitment to protect the natural resources that sustained life. From that vision came the Micronesia Challenge, a regional initiative focused on conserving marine and terrestrial ecosystems across the islands. Vanji Lujan, chairperson of the Micronesia Challenge Steering Committee, shares how the initiative began and why it was urgently needed to respond to growing environmental pressures across the region.
We're celebrating our 20th anniversary of this regional initiative that was started in Palau by President Manenggon in 2006. At the beginning, it was really about ensuring that we wanted to protect our marine and terrestrial resources for generations to come. And at that time, the regional leaders were getting together, and this is something that President Manenggon proposed to the leaders of KUAM, CNMI, later on RMI and FSM. And it was well received because we all realized that protection of our natural resources will ensure our future generations have these resources to live off of and to be able to enjoy.
What started as a bold commitment has grown over the years, expanding its goals and strengthening collaboration across Micronesia.
So it included all the islands of Guam, CNMI, the Republic of Marshall Islands, the Republic of Palau, and the Federated States of Micronesia. And what it was really looking at conservation on a regional scale, because as you know, we have migratory birds that visit different parts of the island. Our fisheries come from RMI and FSM. So it was really understanding that these resources are something that we could share, that within the region it needs to be better studied and monitored to ensure that each of the islands have enough resources for their communities to be to have sustainable livelihoods.
In the Republic of Palau, a nation long recognized as a leader in environmental conservation, the Micronesia Challenge has helped strengthen and expand ongoing efforts to protect both land and sea. Palau has consistently been at the forefront, leading by example and inspiring conservation efforts across the region and beyond.
3 years before the Micronesia Challenge, Palau created a network of protected areas. And with that platform came the Micronesia Challenge, and Palau was ready to say, yeah, with the 20% marine and 20% terrestrial protection, we are already meeting our goals because we have our protected areas network. I am proud to say that after 20 years, we met our goal before 2020. We have met over 20% of our waters is protected. We have 20% terrestrial protected areas, and that's including those registered in the protected areas network and beyond the network. We have a really unique system where the states who are the real resource owners, of these prestige resources, the land and water, they nominate their sites, whether it's in the land or in water, their marine protected areas. They nominate their site into the network, but at the same time, they can have their own conservation areas. So while they're in the network, we help facilitate and coordinate financial and technical resources down to them. With that initiative of the Protected Areas Network, came about the Micronesia Challenge and really pushed and encouraged the other jurisdictions to also protect their resources.
And looking ahead, Palau continues to build on that legacy, aligning with new regional goals leading into 2030.
The goal now is for Micronesia Challenge 2030 to effectively manage 50% of the water resources or marine resources, and correct me if I'm wrong, 30% of the terrestrial resources. Basically, we have established our protected areas. So what are we doing now to effectively manage them? It's one thing to just have a site. It's another to say, yes, we are protecting them and we are managing them effectively for the purpose of saving our biodiversity, but more importantly, for the livelihoods of our people.
In Yap, the Island Resource Conservancy of WAB continues to benefit from the Micronesia Challenge, strengthening its conservation work while empowering local communities to take part in protecting their environment.
This is a conservation NGO newly created in Yap by a group of like-minded individuals with big goals and big dreams, but one of our passion and we're working towards accomplishing is helping communities develop management plans for their protected areas, but also more holistically how to protect their natural resources. So we help developing those plans. We talk story with communities, and then we help them write up plans. And then we're also looking to help fundraising to fund some of those activities, natural resource management activities from our communities. I also am working with the Yap Catholic High School, and so they've expanded some of their traditional school roles into helping support communities by managing grants and helping just, be that bridge between aid, both technical and financial, directly to the community. So, and that's a gap that's apparent in, I want to say, not just in Yap, but all across the Micronesia region. So organizations like IRCW and Yap Catholic High School are hoping to contribute in that regard, and we hope to see more of these NGOs and CSOs contributing to the overall Micronesia Challenge goal.
Here on Guam, the Micronesia Challenge has supported efforts to strengthen conservation programs, expand protective areas, and build greater community awareness around environmental protection.
So one of the things that we've learned over the last 20 years is that there's always something to learn from each of the different islands. So we learn a lot about marine protection and about terrestrial protection from some of our islands that have healthy forests or healthy fisheries. And so it's really about exchanging of knowledge and ideas, but also really to be able to share those resources.
Key partners such as the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Sea Grant, along with Guam Green Growth, continue to play an important role in advancing these efforts locally.
We have the University of Guam, which is a great a place for scientific research and monitoring. So we are that institution helps the rest of the region. So, but I think for Guam, what we really have been able to do is build capacity. We are able to have scholarships that then support people that are interested in doing conservation work. It's really opened our eyes to what's necessary to keep our forest free from invasive species and to have a healthy forest system as well as a marine system. And so now we're embarking on monitoring and seeing the work that we're doing really having an impact on the resource. And so the University of Guam with Marine Lab and Dr. Peter Hulk has a tool that's able to look at how marine protected areas are doing and what is necessary to keep those areas healthy.
Across the region, the impact of Micronesia Challenge is clear, bringing together governments and NGOs across Micronesia to support one shared mission: to preserve our waters, protect our land, and ensure future generations can continue to call these islands home.
I think that what we want to make sure we have is that we have our resources protected, well managed, monitored, but that we also have the next generation that are interested in conservation and wanting to be able to be in the field of conservation, or just be interested in removing invasive species, monitoring fish, monitoring turtles on the beach, and also just knowing that it's with all the stress that Guam has and so many impacts to our resources, that we are able to do even small things to ensure that our reefs are protected, our forests are protected, so that the people are able to walk into the forest and one day see birds, hear the birds in the forest. I think that that's what really we want to be able to see in the Micronesia Challenge, is that our resources, the ones that are struggling, are healthy, and that we're able, the ones that are healthy are continue to be healthy. So those, our natural resources are here for all of us to enjoy and to be able to survive, live off of. But we also want to be able to have our conservation efforts fully funded. And over the last week, we're part of a group looking at project for permanence, which is an opportunity for us to get actual funding outside of the federal government for conservation. And so that's our next step, is ensuring that we have financial resources for conservation.
Ali,
Mogifin,
happy 20th
anniversary of Micronesia Challenge.
Hafaday, happy birthday Micronesia Challenge, you're 20 years old. Hopefully we'll see you when you become 25, a full-grown adult.
And as it marks 20 years, the Micronesia Challenge continues to grow, building on 2 decades of collaboration and moving forward with even stronger goals for the future. Because in Micronesia, protecting what we have today means protecting who we are tomorrow. "20 years down, and we're looking for more to come, because protecting our oceans and our land is something that we have deep in our culture here in Micronesia." So here's to more of the Micronesia Challenge initiative. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Guys, want to take a break? We'll be back with more of the One Micronesia Show.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
One Micronesia Show, and we're back. And now we get to sit down with Brian Morey, the logistics and focal person at the Disaster Coordination Office in Chuuk, to talk about Chuuk's road to recovery after Typhoon Sinlaku. Check it out. In the wake of Super Typhoon Sinlaku, the islands of Chuuk are facing a long and difficult road to recovery. Homes damaged, livelihoods disrupted, and entire communities left picking up the pieces. We got a chance to speak with logistics and focal person of the Disaster Coordination Office in Chuuk, Brian Morey, to talk about the road to recovery in Chuuk.
Hey man, Chuuk got devastated during the storm. Just the main island itself, you really saw the devastation when you come out during the day, even though there was a lot of wind and waves, and it was just really bad.
Now, the struggle shifts from survival to sustainability. With local crops and vegetation destroyed, many are relying solely on store-bought goods that are now scarce. Relief is beginning to arrive. 2 containers of supplies from the Azuda Foundation, which was gathered here on Guam, have reached Chuuk, part of a growing wave of support from partners across the region and beyond.
They couldn't bring relief at a better time. We did receive 2 containers from that foundation. We're very thankful for the donation. I'm getting it cleared. Thank you very much to that foundation for all the help. Want to recognize Carlotta and Walden Wilbacker. Great help.
During one assessment visit, officials encountered a community of 86 people who lost everything. Now, a school building is the only place they call home.
Man, we visited that island. 80 people, 86 people, totally destroyed homes. We had to make split-second decision to go back and make sure, they had what they needed. These are smaller islands within the lagoon that, the population was pretty great, and more than 80 people had occupied a school, totally destroyed homes. I don't know how to explain it, dude. It was just, heartbreaking to see that kind of stuff.
There is some progress. Officials say a good percentage of power has been restored to Weta, with ongoing efforts to bring water and systems fully back online. But the needs remain urgent.
Of course, our number one concern is food, right? Water, food. That's number one. Number two, you can't really clean up, rebuild if, all the trees and all that is there. The stores that we do have, on day one ran out of chainsaws, ran out of a lot of the things that were needed.
Support has come from many fronts. The FSM national government, the U.S. government, nonprofit organizations, and donors from around the world.
We're very fortunate to have a lot of partners that have come out to help. National government, not only money, they did fund a lot, but they're bringing in boots on the ground. We have people from our disaster office, DECM. We have people from health. We have people from TCNI, Red Cross, from the national government, and IOM. Chuuk State, has put out a lot of funds to help, and of course all the different agencies of the Chuuk State government, putting in the time to make sure that the relief keeps going. And of course, United States government, thank you very much.
And to those watching from afar, especially Chuukese living abroad, there's a message.
For everything else, for everything that you have already sent to your families, to us, to help with the relief, I say thank you very much. I'm not going to say it's enough. I'm not going to say stop. But everything that you can donate to us these days is really, really helpful. If it's easier for you to send to your families, please. Can't imagine the struggle that your families are going through. If they're living in the remote islands, most especially out in the northwest, the Mortlocks, or just the neighboring islands in the lagoon, please send it in.
For Chuuk, recovery will take time, but through resilience, community, and continued support, these islands are determined to rise again. The road to recovery is definitely going to be long for our brothers and sisters in Chuuk and also up north in the Sinamay. What do you need to do? Help out in whatever ways you can. Donate, send in relief. That's how we help them through this journey to recovery. We're going to take a break and we'll be back with more of the One Micronesia Show.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.